Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to HHS online classroom. I hope you all are healthy and safe. Let's begin with a brief recap to connect the topic. You must remember the last class where we discussed about Bengal partition, in which we discussed about the division and the uprisal, the relation between the British and the Muslims, the reactions of Hindus, and the unrest caused because of Swadeshi movement, and British was unable to stop them. So now British thought to have a meeting with the Muslims as they were supporting the Bengal partition. And that meeting is known as Simla Deputation. Yes, this is our topic today. Before we jump into the details of the topic, let's have a look at the objectives, what you will be able to learn today. You will be able to interpret the reasons of Simla delegation or deputation, discuss the Muslim demands, analyze the Congress reactions, conclude the importance or impact of Simla deputation on the Muslim community. Now let's watch this video first.
This lecture, the historical background of Pakistan, is continued. The Simla Deputation and the All India Muslim League are discussed in detail. Let's begin with the Simla Deputation. The Simla Deputation of 1906 was the first systematic attempt on the part of the Muslims to present their demands to the British government and to seek their acceptance. Here are the main points. Lord Minto was appointed as the Viceroy of India in 1905. To safeguard their interest, separate electorates were demanded and presented to the Viceroy at Simla on October 1, 1906. The Simla Deputation was headed by Sir Aga Khan. This became the basis of realization of the two-nation theory. The Simla Deputation was successful because the Muslims were strongly united. Separate electorates were given statutory recognition in the Indian Council Act of 1909. Muslims were accorded not only the right to elect their representatives by separate electorates, but also the right to vote in general constituencies. They were also given weightage in representation.
You all have watched the video, so it's a question time now. I want you all to write the answer of the questions in the comment section privately. So the first question is, what did you understand from this video? And next question, why do you think there was a need of Simla deputation? Do write the answer in the comment section. Do not forget that. Alright, why there was a need of Simla deputation? Why was Simla deputation actually held in the year 1906? So, first it was required because of Swadeshi movement. As you know, Hindus were dominating Indian National Congress as they were in majority. And Muslims were afraid that Hindus might take over the power. So, Muslims needed a political platform where they can voice their demands. They wanted to have rights, and you know what? At that time in Britain, the government has changed after elections, obviously, and new political party in Britain, the name of the new political party was Liberal Party, right? So that new political party thought that Indians should have a right to participate in the government through local elections. So how Simla deputation actually prepared? What were the certain measures or steps were taken to form this meeting? You must remember Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. We discussed in detail in Sir Sayyid's chapter, where we have discussed the educational policies and steps taken by Sir Sayyid. So, the college professor and principal of Mohammedan Anglo Oriental College, Mr. Arkhold, asked the private secretary of Lord Minto to organize a meeting with the Muslims. And after the approval, that meeting took place on 16th September 1906. All Muslim leaders of that time finalized what to state in the meeting, and it was finally written by Sayyid Ali Bilgarami. On 8th October 1906, Sir Aga Khan chaired this meeting. This meeting consisted of 35 members from leading class of the Muslim community, and they belong to different parts of the subcontinent such as Bengal, Punjab, Sindh, Delhi, UP was still it is, Uttar Pradesh, CP, Central Province of British India, etc. Majority of them were associated with Aligarh movement through All India Mohammedan Educational Conference. Rest belonged to semi-political parties such as Anjuman Islam, National Mohammedan Association, etc. Now, what were the demands of the Muslim community? What were the expectations of the Muslim community from this meeting? Definitely, this meeting was called by the British people, and if the British were calling Muslims, so Muslims were mentally prepared that what they are going to discuss, what they are going to demand, right? So, in this meeting, Muslims put forward their demands in front of the Viceroy, and the Viceroy of that time period was Lord Minto. And their first demand was separate electorate so that they can elect a Muslim leader for the Muslim community in the subcontinent. They also wanted at least 3 more seats in the central legislature. Central legislature is parliament nowadays. They wanted the number of Muslims should be increased in civil services as well. And they wanted more seats to be reserved in the councils and organization of university, means they wanted to have Muslims in the publication sector, in the educational sector. They also demanded financial help should be given for setting up a Muslim university. Now, after giving some demands, after the demands of Muslims, what do you think, that were these demands accepted or not? So, here are the results, here are the outcomes of Simla deputation. So, the answer is, to some extent, demands were accepted, rest were delayed. So, the first demand which was accepted, or which was the beneficial point for the Muslims, is All India Muslim League was established in the year 1906. And in molding into reforms, which was held in the year 1909, separate electorates demand were also accepted. Muslims became united. Distrust and conflicts increased between the Muslims and the Hindus, which intensified to the constitutional level. Means there was a lot of problem going on between the Muslims and the Hindu community. Now, after the Simla deputation, when few of the demands of Muslim community were approved, what was the reaction of Congress? How they reacted on Simla deputation? They started propagating that it was plotted by the British to counter-attack the boycott movement. Not only this, but in one of the Hindi newspaper, Amrita Bazar Patrika, they declared it was a divide and rule policy of the British government. They also claimed that it does not represent whole Muslim community, as few Muslims were still the part of Indian National Congress. They also quoted that egoistic British rulers were involved in its formation, even though there is no single evidence available to prove that the Simla deputation was the part of the British policy. Now, have a look on the importance. What are the importance of Simla deputation? So, the acceptance of the Muslim demands by the British. Yes, the demands which were accepted by the British proved that Sir Syed's efforts to restore the Muslims and the British relationship have finally become successful. Muslims realize that they are different. They should be treated differently, not just as minority, but as a separate entity. Now Muslims also decided to establish a secure place in the constitution to have their political say, because Hindu Muslim rivalry, which was existed in daily life, now occurred in the constitution as well. It will not be considered wrong if I say it was the first step towards the creation of our homeland, Pakistan. I hope you all understood the Simla deputation, but if still there are any questions, you can write in the comment section. I will respond, I will reply to your queries as soon as possible. For now, please go to the Google Classroom, complete the given tasks, and good luck for that. Now stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.